Hello everybody and welcome on today's video. Today we are going to repot this elm. It is a European elm, and as you see, it's about time because the leaves are already coming out of the buds, and so we really must do this now. This is how the tree was planted last year in the pot, and well, while looking at it, I had the idea that it could be better if the tree were planted like this in the pot. I can do this quite easily because the root spread is, well, equal at from all sides. So let's have a look at the root spread in a minute. And why should this always should this also be a better front? Well, if you look at this way, well, you have a nice secondary trunk here, or master branch. But if you look this way, well, this little branch here can become a part of the crown. This is not an eye poker anymore. This is nicely placed. This is a nice back branch. The big branch becomes a nice back branch too. And as you might see, I grafted a branch here. So first of all, the root spread, and rest will come later. So this tree is the result of air layering, and elms, they react very well to this technique. So you can see we have a nice root spread. Of course it lacks some maturity, but that will come. You can also see that I did not cut away too many roots, because, well, I first wanted to have this tree healthy, but some roots are crossing, and this is something you have to deal with as soon as possible. And I can do this now because the roots are nicely in position, and they'll come off because when we repot this. So this is growing on top, and the rest I will see when. Here I have two roots. One can go for sure, probably this one. Like so. Here is a whole bunch of roots. I'll have to see what's going on under it to see what I'm going to keep. It's very easy to air layer elms, and especially for all the people who bought Chinese elms with defectuous roots, you know, supermarket elms and things like that. Just do it. It's really easy. So in the top of this tree I had this long section here with almost no branches except for this one. So I decided to drill a hole through the trunk and insert this branch. And so now, well, I have a branch where I want it, and it will grow and fuse with the trunk here. And probably this will be okay at the end of the season. These are fast growers. So now let's repot the tree. So as usual, the tree is not fixed in the pot, but I can lift the tree. So that means that, well, probably we have quite a lot of roots, and yeah, we have. So this is good. It means that the tree is healthy. And I'm going to reuse the same pot because I think it was quite nice. So let's keep in mind the front. Yes, front is where we have this nice curve here. No more eye pokers. Yeah. I'm going to open up this root ball now. and going to keep some of this moss, which is again nicely rooted in the lava. I now reached the point where it's becoming obvious that all the lava is fallen out. Well, most of it, of course, not everything. And this is again one of the good aspects of this lava. It's so easy to get it out. I'm now going to let this dry, just dry, sift it again, so that I have again the thick and the small lava separated, and I reuse this soil. So now it's obvious that the part here I'm not going to use it, so there's no reason to start to rake this or comb this out. This is never something that you're gonna keep. So let's give it a good cut now, and maybe already keep in consideration that this will be the new front. So just cutting off the edges. Which will make the combing out of the roots a whole lot easier in a few minutes, because it's always the roots that travel around the pot that make everything difficult. And now, of course, this is much easier. Now, it is not necessary to bare root your tree every time you repot it, but in this stage, if you want to work on a good root spread and have good radial roots, well, it's something you really have to do, because you will have to do some selection of the roots. You cannot keep them all, it's way too much. You see, these are crossing, and it's not possible to do this all in 1 year. So the roots are washed out, gives me a much better view of what's going on, and now I can start the selection of the roots. When you do a selection of the roots, there are a few things you must take in consideration. So first of all, you don't want roots on top of each other. So, well, here you have a thick one, and just under it is a small one. I'm going to get rid of the small one this time. Here you see a thick root with a very small one that is not really interesting here, I think. So it's just a question of taste, of course, and trying to have, this one is growing on top of the other, trying to have a nice spread. And if you want taper in your tree and in your trunk, in your branches, well, you also want taper in your roots. Too many roots is not too interesting too, because it's going to form a clump, and well, some people like that. I think it's a little well, I don't like it at all. This is a quite thick one, but because I have another one here, another one here, so maybe I can get rid of. No, it's going to be okay. No. It's just a question of going through every part of this root base and just select what you want. If you're not sure, don't cut it. You can always cut it later. but things growing one on top of each other, well, select one, that's for sure. This is a nice root. I have a whole bunch of roots here under. I'm not going to get rid completely of them, but just calm them down and be sure that this one has a fair chance to grow more. Every 2 or 3 minutes I'm going to soak this tree in a bucket of water, because it's nice and warm spring weather here, so I enjoy sitting in the sun, but I'm not too sure that the tree likes to be bare rooted in the sun, so I think it's good. It's not perfect, but for the moment it's really not bad at all. If you imagine that this tree was air layered 1 or 2 years ago, I think it's a good start. No, this is too much, you know. This is too much, still too much. Yeah. So again, nothing fancy. I just washed the pots. I kept the drainage screens in position. Just didn't move them, didn't touch them. Just with a brush cleaned it a little. So for starters. This is the thick lava, again, just to be sure that we have good drainage, and then a layer of fine lava with a little garden compost or pot ground or organic material that will feed the tree. And I'm going to get the tree and try to find a nice spot to put him in. This tree is supposed to be looking good from all sides tree, and as I see, it's just fitting in the pot just right, so that's good. Just a final combing because I took it out of the bucket of water. And maybe this one will fit better in a round pot later. I think trees that are supposed to be looking good from all sides trees are better in a round pot, so you can enjoy them from every side. So this was the front before. This is going to be the new front. Why? Well, because now the top of the tree is coming a little more towards us. We have a nice fork here. This one, nice backing branch, nice backing with this one, side branches, and then maybe I'm lacking something here, but once I release this graft, I can probably use some branching here, and if I need another branch, well, you know, I'll just graft one. So this is quite okay, I think. Position of the tree in the pot, maybe get it as much as I can to this side, because the tree is coming this way, so a little negative space here is always nice. And the roots are already fairly flat. Just trying to position them as good as I can before I cover it up. And then I just work my way in with the substrate. First weeks I'm not going to see these nice roots, which is, well, a shame, but I'm going to keep them under the surface, and then with a brush, just a brush to paint or something. There are these cocoa bamboo thing brushes you can buy in special bonsai stores. It's very nice and to have in your collection, and it looks very fancy and things like that. But well, you don't need that. And then with a brush I'm just going to liberate the surface once this tree starts to grow and anchor itself, which is something that happens very quickly in this season, because everything that you see growing above will do the same under the surface. So I'm going to take some of the moss back and make a little hole, insert the moss like so. Same here. So this concludes this video on this little elm. It's not a big pompous tree. It's going to be something really elegant. Room form, of course. So, hope you liked it, and see you next time.